G'day gang, Ben here, how you going? Just thought I would do a quick video. I got a question asked yesterday by a client about how do I choose the best way to charge my customers. Now these guys are in a space where they have a fairly unique product in a niche market and they're not really competing against anybody, and I actually felt that what they were charging was probably a little low for what it was that they were offering, the value. And it's a question that we get asked a lot, or that I've been asked a lot over my time of working with business owners and help people grow their business. So I thought what I'd do today is I'd spend a bit of time. It's today's Tuesday. Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Tuesday? What day is it today? God, Wednesday. Let's call it Wednesday Wisdom. How's that? It is Wednesday. Talking about how much should you be charging. Now, there are times when you will come up against people who are competing or making a decision on price. So you'll be competing on price. But this is where it really counts for you to understand what makes you different to the competition. Now, if you enjoy these videos, by the way, you know what to do. You're already trained. I'm not going to say it. If you're coming up against people and there is price competition and you don't know how to overcome that, then there's two problems, essentially, or the possibility of two problems. One of those problems is that you aren't clear on what makes you different to your competition, okay? So you have to be really clear. If you're going to charge more than the competition and the customer says to you, well, I can get this cheaper, you have to be able to demonstrate the benefits in buying from you over the competition. That's the first thing. The second thing is maybe you don't have any benefits over the competition. So if you have the exact same product or service and there's no additional benefits to your customer, then charging them more is going to be very difficult because you're not going to be able to overcome those objections. This is just reality, right? So if you're selling a commodity or something that is, anyone can buy, so for example, phones, for example, phone plans or a glass of water, right? Someone's only going to pay so much for a glass of water and that's it. If you have a service that is like mine, for example, if you're a professional service sort of business or a software that only you create, so no one else is competing with you, then they can never compare apples for apples, so it's very easy. Now, having said that, though, if we think about a flight, have you ever flown somewhere on an aeroplane? I'm sure you have, right? And you get onto the aeroplane. I guess it's a dangerous assumption. Not everybody has, but you know somebody that has jumped on an airplane. You probably know how they work. You get on the aeroplane, you look to the right, and you see a bunch of economy seats, and that's the majority, right? So on an aeroplane, they fill most of the plane up with economy seats. Straight ahead typically is business class, and then up the very front, if you go to the left, is first class. Now that plane is being flown by the same pilots. It's going to the same destination. Everyone's going to get there at the same time, yet they're able to charge three different fares or have three different classes of fare category and sell them all. Now, this is a really important lesson for us, and this is the fact that to understand that, yes, a lot of people are price sensitive. Now, we know that because if we look to the right, there's a lot more economy seats than when we look to the left in the first class seats. And so in business, you need to try and think about your business in the same way. You're going to come across people that are price sensitive, but you're also going to come across people who will pay a premium for an amazing service. Now, if you're a service-based business, what does this mean? Add value. If you're a product-based business, add value to your products for the people that are prepared to pay more, because you will get some people that will pay more for your services because of the added value. And we know this. We know this for a fact because the airlines have been doing it for a long time. Now, are there times you get on the flight and there are empty seats? Yes, absolutely. And those empty seats could be in economy, they could be at the front. Now, the other thing that they do, the other thing that airlines do is that for a particular flight, now the good thing with this, a flight has urgency built into it. So from a marketing point of view, it's beautiful. Why? Because it has a departure date, and if you don't get your ticket by that departure date, you're going to miss out. So if they do a sale, that sale, it's also got a limited number of seats, right? You know this, so it's got a departure date and it's got a limited number of seats. So it builds urgency into that particular flight. And it's a great lesson for us as business owners, because if we create urgency, then we can sell things in a different way. So they'll put a sale on, they'll say, here's the flight, there's only this many tickets at this price, and then the price goes up. So they actually sell their seats on their airplanes at different rates. Now, I'll give you an example. Recently, I flew to Tasmania on Virgin Airways, and I bought an economy ticket. And then what I did was I bid for an upgrade. Now, I bought my economy ticket for, $100 and something to Tasmania, to Launceston from Sydney. And then I placed a bid of, I think, $115 or $125 to upgrade to business class. I got a business class seat for $200 and something to Tasmania. That's the reality, right? So they're willing to let that go if no one else bought it. Now, if that was booked out by somebody paying $800 or $1,000 or whatever it is they charge, there would have been no way they would have given it to me for $250, right? But it was empty, and it was better than having me pay the other. Why is it the same for them? Well, I'm on the same airplane, using the same fuel, paying the same pilot, the same crew, no matter what. It's all the same. So, when it comes to how much should you charge, you've got to charge what you think you are worth, not what you think someone will pay, because there'll always be people that won't upgrade. There'll always be people that will only pay economy. There'll always be people that price shop, and it's a majority. And so what happens is, this is what brainwashes us into thinking that nobody will pay more. So we say, no one will pay that. I've heard that all the time. So put your price up, but no one will pay it. Of course they will. Will everybody pay it? No. Now, here's what I'd rather do, though. If I was an airline, I'd just have a plane that was just business class. That's it. Why? Because I can guarantee you the profit on charging more, or maybe somewhere in the middle, I don't know, right? Charging more, giving a better service, you're going to make more profit. And maybe an airplane's a bad example, because they don't, they burn a certain amount of fuel and do whatever. But certainly, I'd rather charge a bit more and have less customers and make more profit, but really service those customers well. And if you know what makes you better than the competition, okay, this is what I said at the beginning. You must know what makes you better than the competition. That's the first rule of charging more. You need to be able to demonstrate, here is why we are more than the competition. If you can't do that, then you need to sit down and go, okay, why would somebody choose me over the competition? And it can't be fluffy stuff like, oh, we're awesome. It's got to be actually deliverables. Here's what we deliver. Here's how we make sure we deliver it. And here's what our customers say. It could be the fact that you've got 100 amazing reviews, right? That's good reason to charge more. The second thing is, if you don't do something different to your competitors, you need to work on creating that, right? Because you'll never get away with charging more unless you can demonstrate to somebody the benefits in buying from you over a competitor and paying that little bit more. Now, on my final note, you may be still sitting there going, oh, but Ben, you don't understand. My industry is different. No. I've heard it all before. Your industry is not different. It's not. Get over yourself. It's easy to say that to yourself about your business, but your industry is not different. I challenge you to do this. Work out how to charge more and just start putting your price up and see how it goes. Your industry is not different. Nobody buys on price and price alone. Have a look at what you're wearing. Did you make a decision to buy the clothes you have based on price and price alone? Look at the car that you drive. Did you make that decision on price and price alone? Look at the house you live in. Was that on price and price alone? Look at the food that you eat. Did you buy that based on price and price alone? The answer is no. Okay, so is it part of our decision-making process? Yes, it is. I'm not going to deny that. Is it the only deciding factor when somebody is making a purchase? No, not at all. Absolutely not. So how much should you charge? As much as you can. As much as you can for the value that you deliver. All right, thanks. I've been Ben Fewtrell. You've been absolutely marvelous for tuning into the end of this Facebook Live. Thanks for joining me. If you've got any comments or ideas, shoot them down below. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about in the Facebook Live, put it down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See ya. Until next time, have a profitable day.